Okay, so if you've ever taken antibiotics, you know they can be an absolute lifesaver. But you probably also know they can really mess with your system. So the big question is, what's the best way to help your gut bounce back? Today, we're diving deep into the science and the strategy of using probiotics to do exactly that. Let's get right into it.
Antibiotics are these incredible medical tools that are crucial for fighting off bacterial infections, but they definitely come with a hidden cost. The best way to think about it is like a powerful but not very smart weapon in the delicate garden of your gut. It wipes out the bad stuff, sure, but it takes out a lot of the good stuff right along with it. So, what exactly is the price our gut is paying? To figure that out, we're going to break this down into 5 parts. First, we'll look at the disruption itself. Then, we'll see if probiotics can really lend a helping hand. After that, we'll get into the actual playbook for using them, how to choose the right one, and finally, we'll zoom out to see the bigger picture of gut recovery. So let's start with the problem itself. While that antibiotic is busy saving you from a nasty infection, it can't tell the difference between the bad bacteria it's supposed to kill and the trillions of beneficial microbes that are supposed to be in your gut. And that leads to some pretty serious collateral damage. This damage actually has a scientific name. It's called gut dysbiosis, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a major imbalance in your gut's ecosystem. Imagine a bustling, healthy city where suddenly all the essential workers just disappear. The whole system becomes fragile, it's way less diverse, and it basically throws open the doors for troublemakers to move in and take over. And the fallout from that is very, very real. We're talking about a huge drop in the diversity of your microbes that can stick around for months, sometimes even years. This can cause immediate problems like antibiotic-associated diarrhea, or AAD, and it creates the perfect opportunity for dangerous bacteria like C. difficile to get a foothold. And on top of all that, you've got the bloating, the constipation, and even the risk of longer-term health issues down the line. Okay, so if antibiotics are the problem, does that make probiotics the solution? Well, it's not quite that black and white. A better way to think of them isn't as a magic cure, but more like a strategic tool. Some scientists call them transient modulators, basically a helping hand that comes in during a really critical time. So what even is a probiotic officially? The scientific definition really has 3 main parts. They have to be live microorganisms, they have to be given in adequate amounts, and they have to confer a health benefit. So you see, it's not just any old bacteria. It's a very specific, proven dose of the good guys. And this comparison really boils it all down. On one side, you've got the antibiotic, which is designed to kill and destroy bacteria. And on the other, you've got the probiotic, which is designed to introduce helpful organisms to support the ecosystem. They are literally opposing forces with totally different missions. So how well do they actually work? Well, let's look at one of the biggest risks of taking antibiotics, getting a C. difficile infection. The research here is pretty amazing. It shows that using the right probiotic strategy can slash the risk of developing this dangerous infection by up to 60%. I mean, that is a huge, huge impact. Now, here's a really crucial point. Probiotics don't permanently reseed your gut. It's a super common myth that you're just replacing what was wiped out. What they actually do is act like temporary workers, kind of like ecological engineers. They show up, they help clean up the place, they compete with the bad guys, and they just generally make the environment better so your own unique native microbes have a chance to grow back. Okay, so we know what they do, but the real question is, how do you actually use them to get those benefits? This is where our playbook comes in, the actual practical strategy for making probiotics work for you when you need them the most. With probiotics, timing is pretty much everything. First off, you want to start right away, ideally within 24 to 48 hours of your very first antibiotic dose. Don't wait. Second, and this is so important, you have to space them out. Take your probiotic at least 2 or 3 hours away from your antibiotic. Otherwise, the antibiotic will just kill it off. Third, take it with some food. This helps protect the good bacteria from your stomach acid. And finally, don't stop when you finish the antibiotics. Keep going for another 2 to 4 weeks to really support that full recovery process. The dose really matters too. For this kind of specific mission, you're looking for what's called a therapeutic dose. That means you should be looking for products that give you at least 10 billion CFUs, which stands for colony-forming units. That's the amount that's been shown in the research to actually be effective here. All right, so you've got the playbook down, but now you have to choose your player.
And this is where it gets a little tricky, because the specific strain of probiotic you choose is incredibly important. Not all of them are built for this particular job.
Here are 3 of the heavy hitters, the ones with really strong science behind them. First up is Saccharomyces boulardii. Now, what's cool about this one is that it's actually a beneficial yeast, not a bacteria, so antibiotics can't touch it. Then you have Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, or LGG. It's one of the most studied strains in the world for this exact thing. And finally, you have Bifidobacterium species. These are crucial because they're native to your gut and they get hit really hard by antibiotics. I mean, you walk into a store and it's so easy to just get completely overwhelmed by all the options on the shelf. But the flashy label and the marketing promises, they don't matter. What matters is what's actually in the capsule. You've got to turn it around and look for those specific research-backed strains we just talked about. And here is exactly why being specific is so critical. There's this fascinating thing that scientists call the lactobacillus paradox. So while some lactobacillus strains are the heroes of this story, other common ones have been shown in some studies to actually slow down recovery or even make things worse. This is the ultimate proof that you can't just grab any old probiotic off the shelf. The strain is everything. Okay, now for our last section. As powerful as the right probiotic can be, it's not a silver bullet. Real, lasting gut recovery means taking a more holistic approach. Think of probiotic supplements as just one very important tool in a much bigger toolkit. So what about getting probiotics from food? Things like yogurt, kefir, and kimchi are amazing for your general gut health. But when you need that really targeted support during antibiotic use, supplements usually have the upper hand. They deliver that concentrated, reliable dose of the specific strains you need. So it's best to think of them as a team. Food is for your daily maintenance, and supplements are for targeted repair. And here's the rest of that toolkit. Along with your probiotic supplement and fermented foods, you really need a diet that's high in fiber. This includes prebiotics. Those are the specific kinds of fiber that act as food for your good bacteria. And new research is also showing that the anti-inflammatory power of omega-3 fatty acids can help restore the gut lining. And that idea leads us straight to this concept of synbiotics. A synbiotic is a product that combines both the probiotics and the prebiotics together. The logic is so simple and smart. You're not just sending in the good microbes, you're also packing them a lunch, giving them the exact fuel they need to get to work and be more effective. Now, we have to talk about safety for a moment, because this is important. For almost everyone, probiotics are incredibly safe. But for people who are severely immunocompromised, think patients going through chemotherapy or organ transplants, there is a very rare but serious risk that these live organisms could cause a systemic infection. So in those situations, talking to a doctor first is absolutely essential. And all of this leaves us with one final, really interesting thought to chew on. Today, we focused on bringing in outside help with probiotics. But what if the future of gut health isn't about adding these temporary workers, but about learning how to precisely cultivate and restore our own unique microbes that are already there? It's a question that really points to the next frontier in microbiome science. Thanks for joining this explainer.